with Sandra and Sonia, the twins of the Heart Flick Chicks, here for another edition or episode, I don't know, of Twins Talk
Tubi. You're so corny.
So yeah, this is our second video, and if you missed the first one, just want to kind of recap. We decided to make a video series of horror movies that we watch on Tubi and give our first time reviews to each other. We both watched the same movie, but we don't know how the other one liked it or didn't like it before this recording. So let's get right to it, I guess.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about today this movie called Day of Disappearance, which came out 2022 this year. And a brief recap of the movie. So in September of 2019, a young man named David Hall starts a YouTube vlog. 3 months later marked the last video on the account and was the last time David was seen. So like the first one movie that we did on the Twins Talk Tubi, it's another found footage movie, which I love. Again, I love found footage movies. And the trailer looked pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And so we decided to dive right in. So I think now we're going to give our first time reaction, thought of the movie. Right?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I was hesitant to do one thumb or two because I thought it actually was.
Well, there was something I didn't like, so that's why I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tubi, right? So a lot of it is kind of like, you know, but in the pile of, like, you know, bad stuff, whatever, sometimes you could find a diamond, a gem. You know, yeah. I thought this one was actually pretty good, and I was very surprised.
I thought it was pretty good also. The only thing, well, I thought that the main guy, David, by the way, the synopsis, and he was saying, and he said his name was David Hall, but then and some parts of the movie, his last name was Hill. Was that just me?
Oh, really?
His father's name was Hill.
Oh, I didn't. That
and I thought I kept going back, and then I looked online and I looked at the names again, and I said, and I thought, well, maybe the guy who made the movie, his name is Hill, but because this is a movie, I mean, you know,
I didn't catch that.
So, so that was, but it doesn't matter. But I just
this movie seemed really low budget too, so it could have just been an error. That
I guess so. I guess. I don't know. But I thought the guy, David, the main guy, like he was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Especially
he was kind of like a nerd.
Yeah, and it's not just the nerd thing. He was kind of boring, like especially in the beginning, like before things started happening. I thought it was like he was kind of lame.
Yeah.
And then when things started to happen, he started to get scared and trying to figure out this mystery, this thing that was going on. It didn't seem real. Like it's supposed to be found footage, like this guy went through all this stuff and this really happened in the moment. So it's supposed to be his real reactions, his real, and it looks like he was acting.
I will say that a lot of the times I really liked it, and I thought the reactions were good, and the scared, like found footage kind of filming and reactions that he was doing on the camera was pretty good. There were a handful of times that I did notice, and I was like, oh, that just looks like he's acting.
Yes.
I didn't feel like it throughout the whole movie.
No.
But there were a lot of parts that I saw that I felt that too. So I know what you mean.
Right. So that's like something I didn't like. And then right away, what like struck me was the quality of the video he was shooting. And I was like, well, technically, this movie was taking place, took place in 2019. And in 2019, they had good phones. So I was like, quality is like weird. Because he was in the car, on the plane and at the airport and stuff with, doing a video with his phone. And the quality was kind of grainy and just not the best. And I was like, I thought this, it looked like it should have been like an older, maybe like, I don't know, 2000s or something.
You diving deep into this. I didn't even pay attention to that.
That's why at first, and when I looked at it again, I was like, oh, this is supposed to be in 2019. But then in the middle of the movie, he did get a new phone.
Yes, at some point he did get a new phone.
And then the quality of the video got better.
So maybe he just had an old phone.
So he just had an old phone. Yeah, I'm just saying, like in the beginning, I saw that like right away. I was like, but then I thought it was cool that he did that. He got a new phone, an updated phone, and then they showed him recording, and the video was like clear. So I was like, okay, he just had some like an old phone, version phone or something. So I did notice that.
Well, listen, this movie, I really liked the spooky parts with that creature or that
it was very creepy
entity that was stalking around. Like you move the camera and it's not there, you move it to the other side, then you move it back and it's like right behind him.
Or he's recording and you see something in the window in the back.
I like that. I thought that was really good.
I thought it was very creepy. I
thought it was done very good, very well, and it was creepy. It really was.
Yeah, creep factor was on point, I thought.
Yeah, so do I. It was very good. I thought the story was good.
I thought the story was good.
So this movie, it took place in Hawaii, and he was going to school. He got accepted to a school.
Yeah, he was starting school, and he went to Hawaii like a month or two before, just to kind of
his grandma, his auntie.
He was living in his aunt's house.
Yes.
And he went there a few months before just to kind of like get used to like being there, because he used to live there when he was a baby or something.
Yeah.
And his family,
he's from there. He's from there.
Right. And to kind of explore and do things before school starts. So that's
right. And then he got into this whole throughout the movie, they'll talk about his whole history. Like his parents had him, and when he was 1 year old, his father died, and he never knew why or how he died. Right. And he only had this one video of him and his dad, and he was a baby.
And his mom took him and left and went to the States, where he was living ever since.
Yes.
But I believe it was his grandparents. I guess his aunt, because his aunt lived there.
Well, no, at some
house or something.
Yeah, at some point, he said his mother. He said his mother was never like seemed like right in the head.
Right.
And at some point she was put into a mental institution.
Right.
So, and then she died like not too long after that. And then he lived with his grandma, who raised him pretty much.
Yes.
And but then so now fast forward many years, he's in school now. He got accepted to the school in Hawaii, where he was born, and he's staying at his auntie's house, which is like this little old lady that you'll see in the movie from time to time. And
but not that much. You don't really see
her. Not that much. But I mean, you don't. It's not like you don't see her. Like right. He makes the point. I thought it was good too that he kind of kept that as part of the spooky factor, because you didn't really know. Like you would see her. I think we saw her maybe 3 times in the movie,
something like that.
And it
was like way past the middle of the movie is when you saw her. And he mentioned her in the beginning.
Yes.
And I forgot about her until we saw her, until they showed her.
Yes.
I was like, I forgot he lives with the aunt.
Because he was busy recording the vlog, and then he started getting into his family history, and then all this crazy spooky stuff was happening, so he was trying to investigate. And then further and further you get into the movie, he starts thinking about his father, and then thinking that all these crazy occurrences have something to do with his father's death or disappearance, and at some point he doesn't know if his dad is dead.
Well, he always thought his father was dead, but then he
Yes.
finds out that his father never died. He just disappeared. Or he could have died, but he just disappeared.
Yes.
So, and then there was some point in the movie where David, the main character, kept saying, I feel like something's taking over me.
Yes.
And like he's feeling the presence and that something is not right. And he didn't
They
know.
did a few scenes sort of like Paranormal Activity, where they have the camera recording through the night, and they catch things going on at night that he didn't remember doing, and then he sees the video the next day, or he wakes up in this strange place and the camera's there.
Right.
So that added to all the creepy stuff too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was creepy. And then I was getting mad at him because I was like, dude, if you feel when I start to feel like there's something not right in me because I feel this thing weighing me down, something, I'm out.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I know it's a movie. I don't want to say like, oh, it's a movie, because that's, you can say that about everything in every movie. I'm just saying, like,
I know,
I
I'm
was
with
like,
you. I'm with
oh,
you.
why would you do that?
I'm with you.
And he was wicked, and he was walking around the house in the dark and outside. Cause the house that he lived in was like in like a forest, because it was like
Yeah, it was, yes.
it wasn't
It was
around
like in
other
the jungle or
houses or other
something.
places.
Yeah.
So he
It
was
was very
walking around at night.
isolated. It was very isolated
Yeah.
where the house was.
Mm-hmm. And especially when he started to see that figure or that thing, he saw it a couple times and he still stayed around. And there was one point towards the end that he was he left. Something happened like really bad. He left. He actually took the car and drove off. He was outside, remember? And he left and he went into the car and he drove
Oh,
off.
yes. Yes,
And
yes.
he stopped on the side of a road and he said, when the sun comes up, I'm going back to the house. I was like, what? No, like call the cops. And then he did say like I think the aunt or someone would say that there's like a homeless person that sometimes walks around the house.
Yeah.
Who walks around and you can see them. Like,
And
what? Call the cops. If somebody walking past your house and stuff and you're in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
call
I would
somebody.
listen.
You was going outside like, hey, stay away from me. What? You don't know what it is. And you don't know, even if it is a real person, you don't know if you're gonna crazy and gonna come out and
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know what they're gonna do.
oh,
I know. I know.
man. And then he woke up, he drove, first of all, the spirit thing or whatever it was took over him and made him get in the car and drive away.
And then at one point he drove to like the beach or the ocean.
Yeah, it was
and
like
he
the
was
beach or something.
laying on the rocks. And then he was cutting himself all that stuff. Was like, wow.
Yeah. First, when he was first doing that, I didn't know what he was doing, and
right.
Was he is the thing trying to kill the guy, like to slice the wrist?
Right.
That's what I thought at first, but I was like, I mean,
and then he kept doing it.
He would have did it. It would have cut through already. Like, what is he doing? And then I saw the shape, like
yes.
the U shape. And I was like, cool. And then he did it in the other arm. I was like, what? And by the way, after he woke up from this trance thing and he had these slices and stuff on his arm, like he did show a little bit that he was like in pain, like, oh my God, what happened?
I know.
But the rest of the movie, he didn't put a bandage on.
I was waiting to see if he had like wrapped it or band-aid. He didn't put nothing on it.
First of all, that shit would have stung. Like if you put water on it or something,
it would have been infected.
Yeah, it would have stung, first of all. And yes, you leave it out like that in the elements or whatever, it would have got infected too.
Because it was a few days before the day of disappearance that he did that. That bothered me though. That bothered me. I'm like,
I know, me too. And I kept looking at his arm and he was like, he still has the thing on it with nothing. I was like, oh, maybe they'll show him with bandages on it and not show him putting them on.
That's what I thought too. And every time it's the next scene, his sleeves are rolled up and you can
Up and
see
you
it
can see
all.
it, like, yeah, that gotta hurt.
No, that hurt. I think that's the mothers in us.
I guess, I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
was thinking, I was thinking that too. And then at the end, when did he drive off, or the spirit thing took him?
He has
And
to grab them.
yeah, it grabbed him, and it took
It
him
grabbed him.
to no, I don't mean at the end when he drove off and he woke up. I don't remember, I don't remember now. The spirit was the one that possessed him and took him, and he ended up yeah, I think so. And he ended up in like the woods.
Oh yeah, when he was in like the crawl space. He was like in the crawl space, and
Yes,
then
yes, right,
he was recording, and then he turned the camera and it was right behind him, and it
right. And then it took him, and he woke up like in the middle of the woods. He didn't know where he was. He's walking around. He sees this like a building, a structure. It looked like a camp, like a camp building or something weird. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
But because they had a kitchen, you walk inside, it was a big open space. It had a
Yes.
kitchen, and they had other rooms, I guess. I don't know what kind of rooms, but so I automatically thought it was like a camp, maybe like a cafeteria or
Like a
whatever.
cabin, like a big
Well, like
cabin.
a camp, like, like they would have a kitchen and a big space where they would put like tables and chairs for
Yeah.
lunch and things.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
kind of thought of. But anyway, and then he's walking around with the camera, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, freaked out. And
Mhm.
then you see the thing. And this is the daytime too, it's not nighttime.
Yeah.
But he's the only one around, and then you see the thing behind the kitchen because he
It was
propped up the
huge
camera.
too.
It was big, and I was like, "Oh no!" And he's walking around, and then he gets grabbed. Oh my God! The end was like, "Ooh!" I dug it. And then they show at the
And
end
then
they show the video. Yeah, and the video fell, and his camera or whatever fell, and he fell over.
yes.
So the camera's like on the ground, so all you see is the ground. All you can see is someone's feet if they walk past.
Yes.
That creature thing, you see it walk. And it's like a Bigfoot.
He's like, yeah, it was like a big, like a
Like a weird
monkey
Bigfoot.
or a Bigfoot type of a werewolf kind of creature had, yeah, and it was just dragging him away.
And it drove.
And then it had this the words at the end about,
So
this
I
is the
thought it
last
was
time he was
cool.
seen, and
Yeah, I thought it was actually cool. And they did this in the beginning too.
yes,
They actually said, because in the beginning they make it seem like this is a true story or based on a true story.
right.
And but I like what they did. If you have any information on David's disappearance, please call
Well,
the Hilo Police Department. And they put a number. I was like, oh,
we should have called the number.
I kind of wanted, it was like late when I watched it, and I was like, but it can't be real, right? So I guess it didn't matter. But I did want to call a number. We should have called a number. And then they did that, and then they said his video, his full YouTube video vlog is still on his YouTube channel, and they put the YouTube channel URL. I was like, oh, what?
They did.
So I gotta look at it and see like if it's there or what's there.
If they put it up on the movie, they probably made one and put it up
I'm
on
sure.
YouTube.
But it's
But
just,
that's pretty cool too.
I thought it was cool because a lot of you see found footage movies and they don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
they'll say something, they'll say, such and such, was never seen again and was this, but they don't put, oh, please call this place if you know anything about the disappearance, or like that. So I thought that was cool actually that they did that. So it's
Anyway,
good.
all in all, I thought it was a good movie.
Me too.
It kept me entertained. It kept me wanting to know more.
Yeah.
And I liked the general plot of the story.
Yeah. It was creepy.
And yeah. And I thought the actor did a good job.
He did a decent job.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So want to make sure you guys are following us. As we said in the beginning, we are Sonia and Sandra, and we're part of the Horror Flick Chicks, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And also check out our podcast, which we started doing video versions of our podcast, which you can see here on our YouTube channel. And you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. And anything else?
I mean, if you guys watch this movie, let us know what you
Oh,
think.
yes. Let us know what you think. If you
And
like it, you didn't like it.
if you've seen it already and you have a different opinion, let us know that also.
We'd love to hear your comments. And we also want to hear what you think of the Twins Talk Tubi, if you want us to keep doing more. I mean, we're going to do some more, but if you like it, we'd like to know. And if you don't like it, tell us maybe what you don't like. And
we won't get mad. Don't worry.
no, we won't get mad. No.
And if there's a movie that you guys want us to see on Tubi,
yes, we'd love
let us know in the comments,
recommendations.
and we'll watch recommendations. So let us know.
We have a few movies in our queue to watch, but you know, we're gonna run out of them soon. So we'd love to get some ideas of other ones you've watched that maybe you liked, that you want us to check out, and then we'll do reviews on them. So let us know.
Yay.
All right. So we'll catch you next time on the Twins Talk Tubi.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.